Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It's not hard to acquire information or knowledge. Memory is the lowest, I would say, uh, attribute of our intelligence. Memory is the easiest way. Now, on top of memory comes the ability to analyze. Okay, the ability to put information, the knowledge that you got, together and reach a conclusion, or to, for instance, to be able to fix a problem. The analytical skills are always on top of the memory skills. Both are needed, but I think as a function in our brain, they're a little bit higher. Now, it's easy to analyze a person's ability by observing the way the person thinks. You give a person a few pieces of information and you see, okay, what's your conclusion? And you're going to find out, which is harder, it's harder not for you to see what conclusion he's going to reach, but it's harder to analyze from the information given and reach, I don't want to say the right conclusion, but the conclusion closer to the situation. It's like an investigation. You have a few pieces of information, you put them together, and you have to draw a conclusion. Now, if you're an idiot, you have the information the same as I have, and I can reach a totally stupid conclusion. And this is going to be my determination on the investigation. So I'm talking about the way of analyzing information. So you can tell how intelligent or the level of intelligence of a person. Now I have here some Ukrainians, unfortunately, who will show you how they analyze an issue. And these are not regular Ukrainians, so you can say, well, Emil. No, these are people from the highest echelon of Ukrainian leadership. And let's see who I'm talking about here. So, I will tell you the issue. Oopsie doopsie. All right, I will tell you the issue after I read you who these people are. So this comes from Ukrainska Pravda from today, Sunday, February 5. President's office and Ukraine Foreign Ministry comment on Putin's promise not to kill Zelensky. So we have someone from the President's office and someone from the Foreign Ministry of Ukraine. So these guys are going to give us their interpretation of a situation, an issue. What happened? If you're not familiar, let me read you these guys. First is Mikhailo Podolyak, that's the first one, advisor to the head of the president's office. That's one of them, okay? And the other one is Dmytro Kuleba, Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs. Let's see how these guys are analyzing. So, Mikhailo Podolyak, the title, President's Office and Ukraine's Foreign Ministry comment on Putin's promise not to kill Zelensky. Now, if you're familiar with this, or you're not, I'm going to read you this. This is what triggered everything. Not the Jerusalem Post, but this. I made a video today with this title regarding this issue. So, Putin assured me he wouldn't kill Zelensky, Bennett recalls. Bennett is the former Prime Minister of Israel. He visited, according to Bennett, so Bennett is no more the Prime Minister of Israel. Netanyahu is. So, Bennett reported during an interview at Channel 12, he said that he went to Moscow in March 2022, right after the invasion of Ukraine, and he went to meet Putin and discussed about 5 hours, almost 5 hours interview he gave to Israel channel. Anyway, he spoke with Putin, and he asked Putin, this guy, Bennett, asked Putin, do you intend to kill Zelensky? And Putin said, no. He says, do you intend to kill Zelensky? And then it was almost 5 hour interview he gave with Israel, blah, 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 blah. And what's his name? Putin said, no. Said, Putin assured Bennett, I am not going to kill Zelensky. So it was not Putin who told Bennett, hey, you know what? By the way, I'm not going to kill Zelensky. It was his answer to a question by the Prime Minister then of Israel. All right? And then he asked him 2 times. In the other article, Bennett asked Putin 2 times, are you sure? Are you gonna? He said, no, I will not, 2 times. And then, after the meeting, right in Moscow, Bennett called Zelensky, who was in a bunker by that time. He didn't show his tail out. And Zelensky said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "100%, Bennett replied. Within hours, Zelensky had returned to his office and made a video explaining that he was not afraid," Bennett said. All right? So he went in absolute secrecy. That's a different story. So this is what happened. Bennett asked Putin 2 times. Putin answered no 2 times. And then he promised, gave you, because in the other article said, "You can have your word," yeah, blah, blah. And then Bennett called Zelensky and said, "Hey, you're safe. You can come out, weasel." And he came out as a strong man. And now this is what happened. And see how these weasels here, Kuleba and Podolyak, analyze this. And this is what they say. Mikhailo Podolyak, advisor of the head of the president's office, has said that the allegation that Russian President Vladimir Putin promised not to kill President Volodymyr Zelensky is fiction. So that means that Bennett is lying. He makes up fictional stories, but he would not dare to tell that, hey, you know what? Actually, Bennett, the former prime minister of Israel, is a fiction maker. This is the word. Fiction means something that's not real. All right? And then while the other guy, Dmytro Kuleba, Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs, has called Putin a liar. Now, in this context here, why is this guy a liar in this context? I mean, I'm not saying this guy did not lie. Yeah, he definitely lied before. I lied. I'm pretty sure you lied. We all lied, more or less. So that means we're all liars. So this could go more or less, correct? More liars, less liars. He called Putin a liar. So far, Zelensky was not killed. And he didn't lie. The liar would be Bennett. Quote from Podolyak. The strange ex-official's claims on mediation that Putin allegedly gave guarantees not to kill Zelensky and the West interrupted promising negotiations are fiction. So I'm going to translate this for you. Ex-prime ministers of Israel, strange claims on promising, who gave guarantees not to kill Putin, Jesus, that Putin allegedly gave guarantees not to kill Putin are fiction. So this is how Podolyak analyzed the situation. Yeah, what can we have? What can you have? All right, so let's go further. The Russian invasion isn't about NATO expansion, security guarantees, or sanctions. It's the Russian Federation's desire to destroy Ukraine and kill Ukrainians. So this is the way Podolyak analyzes information. So it's not about NATO expansion, because the Russians never said that before and never wanted to talk with the Americans and send them the request and all that. Never about security guarantees or sanctions. The only desire is to destroy Ukraine and kill Ukrainians. I think that's kind of like a toddler level of, and Podolyak is the advisor. So that means he goes to the president and says, hey, you know what? I think based on my knowledge and experience and intelligence that you should do this. This guy. This is his bottom line. All right. Now quote from the other guy, from Kuleba. In the past, Putin has made promises not to occupy Crimea, not to violate the Minsk agreements, not to invade Ukraine, yet he has done all of these things. Do not be fooled. He is an expert liar. Every time he has promised not to do something, every time, it has been exactly part of his plan. So every time he has promised, every time not to do something, he did it. All right, so and here in the background says former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett has told the press that he met Putin at the beginning of March 2022, and Putin allegedly declared that he would not kill Zelensky at Bennett's request for an answer. Correct? Correct. Now let's analyze Kuleba. So again, all right, let me answer to Mr. Kuleba. Kuleba, first, it's not every time. The second one, let's go to Crimea. Not to violate the Minsk agreements. Who didn't implement the Minsk agreements? Who? Not to invade Ukraine. He promised not to occupy Crimea, not to invade Ukraine. Okay, I'm not going to defend Putin. He's a big boy. He can defend himself if he feels like. But I'm going to say this. Okay, let me give you this scenario. It's me and Kuleba. all right? Or let's say Gigi / Kuleba. And Gigi tells me, hey, Emil, are you going to beat me? And I'm saying, no, man, I will not beat you. I promise I will not beat you, okay? And Kuleba goes and, let's say, kills my mother. And I'm going to go visit Kuleba, or what's his name, Gigi, and beat the shit out of this guy. And then Kuleba is going to say, Emil, you lied. Now, did I lie? So if circumstances changed in such a way that what I promised you then would not make sense this time, what did you want me to do, Gigi? So I can provide you with more examples like this. You know, oh, I said that, but that means it's not like a blank check for you, whatever you want. Oh, you burned my house and I'm not supposed to. Emil, you're not going to call the police. No, man, I'm not going to call the police. No, Henry, you're not going to beat me up. No, man, I'm not going to beat you up. You're not going to aggress me physically. No, man. And then he comes in, I don't know, does some bad things to me, burns my house, beats my family, enslaves my whomever. And then I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to do anything to you. Why? Because I promised you. Do you think that's what I'm going to do? You're goddamn right, I will not do that. I will go and take care of this guy, face to face. Discuss with him and, call the police and do whatever's necessary. And he can call me liar how much he wants. The circumstances changed the behavior. So, I don't know about Crimea. Go back and see, okay, I'm not going to invade Crimea. I'm not going to do anything to Crimea. Hey, did you change the government in Kiev? How did you change it? Through a coup d'etat? Oh, okay. How about the Minsk protocols? Did you implement them? No. Do you know Poroshenko, what Poroshenko said? Poroshenko, the president of Ukraine. Previous one. He said, well, we just signed those Minsk protocols just to buy time to arm ourselves. Really? So that was in bad faith. Good job, yeah. And we violated them. By what? By invading you now because for 8 years you didn't do anything about it? And what's his name? Poroshenko, the former president of Ukraine, said, well, just a second, we didn't want to do it anyway. And then you have Angela, the former chancellor of Germany, said the same thing. You had Holland, or whatever his name is, the president of France. These three people signed the Minsk protocols, all three of them. And what happened? Nothing. They armed themselves. So, Mr. Kuleba, again, a great analysis skills. And he is not like 17 or something. He's not that. The other one is. I'll put it differently. But look at this. So what would you say about it? And you see, instead of focusing on the issue, they focused on the people. They focused on and said, okay, is it true or not? They say no. Okay, that means Bennett lied. Not Putin, he didn't say anything. They issue, oh, no. Well, it's fiction. Okay, that means that guy lied. And the other one say, wait, don't believe Putin because Putin is a liar. So, okay, don't believe Putin. But is it true what Bennett said? Kuleba did not address that situation. He just said, oh, don't believe Putin. Well, okay, don't believe Putin. Is Zelensky still alive? Yeah. So far, so good. And he implies that he was under such a great protection that Putin was not able to do it and all that. Yeah, okay. All right. But anyway, you're going to get Bennett as a liar anyway in any circumstance. And Putin a liar. The other one, both are liars. Bennett a liar, Putin a liar, but not Kuleba or Podolyak. They are A-OK. All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.